I did
And
good.
and the way you said my name was perfect.
Right. See, I was practicing all morning in the mirror.
Okay, that's good. Perfect.
Yes,
Awesome.
I had a picture of you up like in the upper corner, and
No,
Okay.
lightning
I just
goes
kept.
strike.
No, but
Now, you know what you said about him earlier. You know what you said about him earlier. You know what you said about him off the air.
What?
That was straight stalker.
But I was in my bathroom with her picture. I wasn't in her bathroom.
It doesn't matter. That
You know,
makes it even worse.
I wasn't looking through her window.
Not have a shrine of the host and guests that you have here.
It's not a
It
shrine.
is
It's one picture.
inappropriate. That's how
One
it starts
picture.
off, with one picture. And all the
Let's say
accolades
you know
that
you
you
can have a
gave her
whole
and that
wall.
one picture,
Really?
there's therapy required. Anyway,
No,
we're
what-
so glad to have you here.
Thank
today.
you.
I'm just trying to be the best that I can be.
Do it in a less stalkerish kind of way.
Okay.
All
You're
right.
Thank you.
phenomenal. You're awesome.
Thank you.
So,
Y'all are crazy is what I've already figured this out.
Miss Trinell,
Yes, sir.
talk to us about tennis.
Tennis. First of all, it's tennis.
Oh, it's tennis.
Denise is like, "Who is
Right?
she? They're gonna talk about the girl I went to high school with. She sat behind me in English class. Denise Stumper Smith. I remember her.
It is a sport that is often overlooked in our community. And I have had a love for it since I was in college. I learned how to play when I was in college, and literally every morning, because breakfast wasn't ready at the college, I would be out on the courts playing. And there was a blind professor, Dr. Hamilton, that used to come by and go, T, Donna, is that you? And he knew we were out there. We hit every morning regardless. And that love of tennis has carried throughout my entire life.
Was he your tennis instructor?
No.
Oh, okay. I was getting
He
ready
was-
to say.
he
I
was just
like,
one of the ones
Nah,
that-
I was gonna get impressed. I'm like, hey,
No,
a blind man and he instructing tennis.
no.
All right, sign me up.
That immediately sounds like that movie Dodgeball, where if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
That just
Yes.
About Ray
That's gonna be
Charles, you know, when he
Mm.
said he had to see with his ear, he had to listen more. I was like, what did he hear? The ball coming through or something?
Oh, yeah,
Yes, bionic ears or something.
Because that's what happens when
Yeah.
one sense sort of goes out, the other senses become
That's true.
heightened.
right.
That's very
So,
true.
but yeah, so he could have that, super hearing or whatever,
That would have been,
like Superman.
yeah, that would have been like some Transformer stuff.
That's right. I would have paid some top dollar for that. I'm like,
Trinell,
yes.
Did you play any sports in high school before then?
Yes, I played basketball. I was the tall one. I was the little one that was a little heavier, and I played the center spot. But was good, very, very good at it. But it was never something that I wanted to pursue any further. Pursue that I just didn't.
Okay.
That's because you weren't any good.
That's not because I wasn't any good. It was because I was a workaholic, and I was one of these straight A students, and I had time for all of it. So I had to fulfill all these scholarship duties
Oh, okay. All right.
and pay for school. So
Wasn't gonna pin
Okay.
on the ball to get you that. I got
there
you.
we go.
Did you get a tennis scholarship?
No, I did not.
Did not. Okay.
No, I learned tennis at college.
In college.
That's the first time I was ever introduced to the sport.
What made you fall in love with it?
I don't know, because I never knew that it could be that much fun. The instructor just showed you that anybody could play it. That's what I really loved about it. And that you could play in cold weather and warm weather. And the goal
You
was
can
just
play in cold weather.
yeah, look here, you can play in cold
And,
weather.
and you sort of got to have arms in order to play tennis.
Well, yeah.
So not anybody can play, because if you're paraplegic, you can't play
You're here.
tennis.
Well, that's actually not
just-
true.
That's
Really?
I was gonna say, they
You can
have
play
a
with your
Wii
feet.
game now,
One of
yeah,
the
you can
things
play.
that I was getting ready to say that I love about this sport, when I say that
Okay.
anybody can play,
Okay.
anybody can play. And what I'm talking about is they have programs for developmentally challenged people.
Really?
I've actually learned how to teach people in wheelchairs.
Okay.
And they have a great time on the
yeah.
court.
Wow.
Yes. And so that's what I'm saying. I am loving
we
this.
learn stuff on the Profit and Growth Hour. Hey, get your pen, your paper handy. We gonna learn you some stuff today. Yes.
Learn today.
Exactly. You gonna learn today. That's right.
And
Okay.
that's what I love about the sport, is that you develop every time you get on the court. You learn something new. You go, I didn't do this right. And the sport continues to progress, not just with the rackets, but the strings. They used to have these leather rackets that you used to use, and it was just crazy. I mean, right now,
Leather racket.
yes, the whole thing was.
Like back in the day or
Yeah.
something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like the,
yeah.
like the
Yeah,
leather
yeah, we-
helmets
Yeah,
that the football players used to
when
wear?
you was living. Yeah, yeah. When
I
you was living.
no,
Yeah.
when she was living. That's her era. Yeah, I'm just
Let me tell you,
saying.
black don't crack. With all the years of my life.
That's right, 90
But your,
years old and
but your
everything.
racket can crack, and it's things like that I love showing people because they see it on television. They see tennis on television. McEnroe, all those people made it very, very famous. But way before then, there was Althea Gibson, there was Arthur Ashe, and again, it was something that we didn't talk about after they kind of left the circuit.
But isn't that like a bougie type sport or whatever, and that's why black folk don't play it?
Well, I will tell you, the word bougie is probably not the word I would use. What I would say is that it's an expensive sport depending on where you go.
Yes.
And so because it's individual coaching, they can charge you outrageous rates.
Right.
Like the average rate to just get 1 hour right now is $75
$75.
for one. And you're not going to learn tennis in 1 hour. I'm sorry. That's going to go on for quite a while. And so that's why I got into the business, honest to goodness, because I wanted the African American community to get involved with it and realize you can buy you a $10 racket at one of the local stores. I can put you out there for a much, much cheaper price and get you involved with the sport and have you enjoy it.
But isn't it just like you go like the swing, the front hand, and then you like gotta learn the backhand, and then once you get those two hands together, then you good, right?
Yeah, sure. You come on out with me and let's see how that works.
Right. That's like, you just described ping pong. What? You just described ping pong. Not
It's the same thing. It's, you know,
You thought the same thing?
Well, like when
they
you
can't
swing,
hear you.
Yeah, when you swing forward, then you swing
Exactly,
backwards.
backhand, forward hand, depending
But
upon
there's
which
a
way,
rhythm.
which
Do you
side the
switch?
ball
Yes,
is
I
on.
never
This
said
is-
about
I
switching.
think
That's
that's
what-
We on the same page, right?
Racquetball.
See?
She
No,
put,
see, I played racquetball with my dad. That was our father-daughter time. Although not the same, far more aggressive than tennis. But racquetball is not bougie.
Racquetball.
It's dangerous.
It's very violent.
It is
Oh,
really
no wonder
Yeah.
she plays. She got
Yeah.
them, she
Yeah.
guns, No wonder she plays.
Senator Joe Ford, I apologize once again for cracking you in the face with the racquetball. Once again, I apologize. It was not intentional. Your big head got in the way.
Wow.
And
Oh, wow.
when I swung, you just but I apologize. And I hope the swelling has gone down over the
Clearly.
years, and
Over the
you
years.
are still able to function normally. Last time I saw you on TV, you held your own very well. So
His
I'm
head
glad
wasn't
there's
rolling
no
over to the
exactly. I'm
side.
glad there's no damage
Residual
that has been
damage.
prevailing. So yeah.
all right,
Thumbs
look
up.
here, Dr.
Yeah.
Business. Let me tell you about this. That's one of the things I love about this sport. It's not violent.
It's not.
No, it's not. You don't use
If
your
you
racket.
throw the racket at somebody, it's violent.
But that's not the way we
That's
teach
not the
young people.
part of the
Yeah,
and
but
that's when you get on this
people
big,
get
big
attitudinal, and you're working with
That
the
is
urban community,
why
and they gonna get upset because they lost, and they're gonna throw the racket at you.
No.
That's what they do.
This is why T's Tips is grounded in not just tennis, but teaching you to have a great attitude, how to be on time. It teaches you etiquette.
You going down her
Don't know me
avenue.
like that. How she go?
What
She
now?
didn't know that was you. She was just saying things about black folk and
And me.
Y'all late all the time type thing. But
Taking
bless the
control
Lord.
of the space that you're in. Like literally, if you're late for tennis and you're playing a match, you can actually forfeit it. You lose the match.
Yeah.
So you will learn how to get yourself there on time.
Unless you just want to be a loser. If you're late, you're a loser. That's the moral to the story.
The other thing that you guys mentioned was the strokes. There are so many strokes. So it's not just the forehand, the backhand. There's
What other
volleying.
strokes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. You got to learn how to look at that face.
How you gonna swing?
I wanna know
You guys-
about the
you-
strokes.
Okay, think
Swing.
about when you see Venus and Serena toss the ball up, you got to learn how to serve. You've seen fast serves, slow serves. There's lots of things. How to put spin on the ball and all that other kind of
Spin?
stuff. Yes.
You spit on it too.
Just like when you baseball, you have to learn how to throw a
curve.
A
curve.
curveball.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
And you,
that's
and you
my
throw a
favorite part.
spitball, right? So you get to spit on a
I'm gonna
tennis.
spit on you if you
She might be
Exactly.
the
ABW.
She might be the ABW.
ABW.
And what I like most about the
spit on
sport
me.
is really watching people develop and
Right.
taking people like him
Yes, take him.
off to the side and talking
Please
with
do.
him with that racket. Because it can also be used as a tool.
tutorial.
Yes, a
disciplinary.
tutorial. That's exactly
Oh,
right.
God.
Yes, right. That's exactly right. But when you
come
work with
back with it on like a chain
with
like
tease
that.
tips,
I know. I
we
could-
don't have all
I
of that
could
going
like
on.
that though.
Yeah.
He got
Excuse ourselves.
Show me. I'm
He's
just
got
saying.
issues. He's got
Hey, you
issues.
know.
I know
Hey.
that. But that is one of the reasons why we try to pull people at a younger age into this. Yeah. Dude, yeah, you can, but it'll take a little while.
Yeah.
But we like to pull them in at a younger age so they can get off the streets. They have something else to do with their time. And then once you start practicing and learning, you'll have to get with other people to do it. The other thing I like about it is not just a single sport. You can play doubles. You can play with guys. Guys can play with girls. That's called combo. There's so much more to it. Yes. There's so much more to it. And one of the things that I love about my more seasoned players is getting them to play, with somebody.
Turn her mic off. No. We're having technical difficulties. And you see her mouth moving, but nothing is coming out.
Just the screen. It's season.
Is that you get to put them on the court with better people and they actually get competitive. It's like any guy that's in the gym or somebody's in the gym, you see somebody lifting 60 or 260, it's like you want to go there.
Right.
You really, really want to go there. And that's what I have fun with my older players, the ones that have started it, never really learned it, that sort of thing. And that's how I get a lot of business for the adults, is because they see what the kids are doing and they see that they're having fun. And I include them in everything that's going on. Now, part of it is proper stretching. You got to know that. Yes. You
stretch.
Well, it is exercise.
Yeah,
You have to move.
exercise.
All
Yeah.
the running
You
back
do
and
have to
forth
move,
and the
yeah,
quick
quick
stops
stops.
and the tension that requires.
Oh,
proper
wow.
shoes. You got to have the proper shoes.
Proper
So you-
shoes? What
Yeah.
Why you plays
Because-
in heels?
Put some tennis
Can't
shoes.
just slide across
Okay,
the ground.
no, you
We
can't.
call them sneakers. Down here, they call them tennis shoes.
No.
So you just get you a pair of tennis shoes.
Okay, well,
Your
but it's the,
Walmart Watts are not going to work.
But they tennis
You need
shoes.
a little more than
What?
some
They
Watts.
tennis-
okay,
What?
listen, we're talking about a sport. You have to have the proper support.
Support.
That's correct. And if you go
You
on
have
the
to wear a
court,
cup.
you know, it depends on what kind of sport you're playing, but that
Right.
doesn't sound like tennis.
No,
That-
because they can like hit the ball.
Yeah, they
and it,
can.
like go
and
into
if
your
I was
groin.
out there with you, I would definitely go in that direction.
Wow.
Just so I can make
Oh,
sure.
okay, yeah, down, down,
Even
down.
though
Death
even
threats,
though
I know.
tennis ball is light and it's not heavy
not-
or
it's
hard,
hollow.
but if it's coming at you light
90 miles an hour.
Oh, yes.
Out of the-
Exactly.
Yes, it really, really does. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because when you teach the younger kids, they use a much lighter ball. There is
A
red ball
lighter
tennis. Yeah, there's red ball tennis. There's orange ball. And they also have one that is green that has a little dot on it that is just for children. And they progress from one
That's
age. So 7 to
badminton.
2, no, 7 to 10,
That's a birdie.
9
I
to
know.
11,
That's a
8 and
birdie.
under.
Yeah,
And
Oh.
it makes it easier for them to get the ball across the net. You even lower the net. You have portable nets and things like that that
Lower
you
the
can
net.
do.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, if
So
you're
don't be looking at me
okay,
because
if you're this
I
high.
have to climb up in the chair because I'm short.
That's like
Yeah, he
bumping to the bowling alley, lower it down to the score.
I have to lower my net. So I mean,
Okay.
That's all right.
that's all right.
Because if you get out there and you're not successful, guess what? You're not going to want to do it anymore.
Right.
So
Well,
we
then
have to
they're a
set it up.
loser.
No.
And send them on their way.
No, that
No,
is why I'm
that's
there,
not-
to
oh.
encourage them and to
Oh.
make it fun and want
Oh.
them to come back again so that
So
they
you
can meet up
allow
with other
them to
friends.
cheat.
No, there's no
you're not
cheating.
There's no cheating.
No, that I don't
If you
do.
lower the net, that's cheating.
No, if I'm teaching you a lesson
Okay.
and you're in a specific age group,
Okay.
I use the equipment for that age group.
Right.
Oh,
Trying to
okay.
teach me.
It's no different than the training wheels on a bicycle.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're learning as you get better. Then the net can come up higher, the ball can get heavier, the racket can get bigger.
What training wheels?
It's all if you're on a bicycle. It's no different.
What
I ain't
trainer?
had no training wheels on
You
my
didn't have a
bicycle.
bike either, kid.
I did have a bike.
You
my,
didn't.
my father just pushed me and I fell like 20 times. And then I got tired of falling.
And that's why
so,
your bike's still sitting deformed in your garage right now today.
well, it's
No, it's not
stones
just
of
the
remembrance.
bike. I think
It's
it's
not
more.
just that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's more. of that.
yeah, from the falling.
Because he's seasoned, they didn't have helmets back then.
I
so.
ain't know they had training wheels. I wanted some training wheels.
You want some training wheels?
Yeah.
How you know you
One of the
want
things
some?
that I really like about
You would have wanted some
I
training
would have wanted, yes.
No, one of the things I like about tennis is I often work with people that are introverted. Being a personal trainer, working with folks, and they don't want to do the group thing because they're embarrassed and things like
exactly
that.
right.
Tennis is an all eyes on you type event. And if you're introverted and you're kind of shied away, but you enjoy tennis, that's going to push you to the forefront.
Yes.
And then T's Tips is actually going to give you the character and the nobility and the strength to walk into a room, and just command your. Tennis is a very commanding
Yes,
sport.
it is. It is.
commands the atmosphere.
Especially when you're wearing like the little mini skirt
Oh,
things or
Lord
whatever.
to mercy.
And then like you walk over a vent
When
and
you-
the skirt
when you
like
wear-
blows up.
And you wear those
What?
little skirts.
No,
and
I
you walk
don't.
over the vent.
No, you said that
You
it's
said
a
I do.
I said I
Yes.
don't. It's a commanding
I heard I do.
sport. And you
Well-
have the little toot thing and it like blows up and you're like whoo hoo. And see, that's
Okay, go
no.
back to the commanding. How is it commanding? Is it because you in charge
When
or?
you cannot blame it on the forward. You can't
No.
blame it on the center. You can't
No.
blame it on the linebacker. You
That's
can't
right.
blame it on the quarterback. You can't blame it. It is you yourself. that's
Unless you
out
do
there on
couples.
that.
Unless
See, if you do
Unless
couples,
doubles,
you can blame
yeah,
it on
doubles.
the partner.
Yes.
But
Okay.
even then,
I'm
when
learning.
you're recording and you go back and you look and say, when I was here covering this space, you still should have been there. You moved out of your space.
That's correct.
There's accountability. And there's accountability in any sport that's recorded.
Yes.
But when I'm talking about the one-on-one, because I played a little tennis, never on a team, just again, racquetball with my father, then everybody else. It
Okay.
was tennis.
It's true.
And walking out, it was like, from here on back, this is my house.
That's right. It's
Get
all your
that
space.
Out of my house. Like,
It's
you
all your
cannot
space.
Be timid and be like,
Well, a lot of them do start out like that, but that's one of the things I do with T's Tips. I'm like, look, you're just learning.
You're
Don't
right.
be so hard on
Right.
yourself.
Right.
The other thing about a good teacher, a great teacher, is having a lesson plan. You have got to have a lesson plan. This is why I spend time with the parents way before I take them out on the court to find out what it is they
Their
want the
schedule,
students
their
to learn, and whether they don't want them to work individually or they want them to work with somebody else. Because sometimes having somebody else besides the coach to hit back and forth with makes it
Right.
a lot more fun.
Of course.
And you have to have some structure to it. But again, it brings me a lot of joy because it provides fellowship.
Yeah.
They get to fellowship with somebody else they haven't seen sometimes. Socialization. So you talked about somebody that was kind of introverted. It brings them out on the court. They don't have to say much, but they can say a lot with their racket.
absolutely. Absolutely.
They really, really
And I
can.
can just see the sense of pride and the accomplishment that comes with. I just remember I enjoyed it. I didn't. So my tennis court, when they took the net down, that became the place where we had all our after school fights at. So I spent all my time on the tennis court.
Yeah, see that? And you say I'm what?
I was saying, like, all the kids would be on the outside of the fence, we'd be on the inside.
Yes, yes,
That was
yes.
my
That's
time on the
cage
tennis
fighting.
court. It really was.
Yeah,
That
the
is
whole
absolute
wrestling.
Because
That's
we
a
would fight,
cage.
we get in trouble, we go tell our mama, we have to apologize to each other, then we go to the park and ride our bikes and play.
That is what I think is so interesting about what you just said. A lot of the courts are going down in black communities. They want to say that we're not interested in the game. They want to say that they don't really use them. The
Right.
community that I moved into years ago, that was one of the places to play.
Right.
When the flood came through in South Carolina, it wiped it out, and they did everything they could to keep from refurbishing them, and it's still sitting there like that. But that's what I like about T's Tips. I can teach children how to play tennis in a church parking lot. Because again, I've purchased the equipment. I
Right.
have these
you're
portable
mobile.
nets that are shorter for you,
Folks.
and it's an opportunity to learn about health. You know, you got to drink some water.
Right.
Go out
And
there for several
hydrate.
hours in the 105 heat and see if you don't pass out.
See, that would be my challenge.
No, you wear the little short skirt
It's
thing,
still
and it'll
hot.
help keep you
I'm hot
cool.
now, I'm hot.
No, to
It
keep
can't
you
be
cool. Try it. We gonna go to break, and she gonna come back with a little skirt on,
And some Mary Kay.
yeah, and some Mary Kay lips, with then some satin lips on and stuff like that. And,
gonna
and
need
we gonna
some
show
chapstick
you
right there when you get
how to
dehydrated.
play tennis with T's tips. We're gonna take a break, but we're gonna come back, and to get in contact with T before we go to break will be
Yes.
how.
On TV, ONTEEV at AOL.com. If you laugh, forget about it. On TEEV at AOL.com, or you can contact me at 843-269-6151. Usually the people that do these commercials, they go so fast, so I'm going to slow it down. 843-269-6151. And then you will have reached T's Tips.
Bingo.
Bingo.
what
She
I'm
need
talking about.
She need the Z. With the
with that attitude, you throw a Z in there. Yeah,
Z stands
T's
for attitude and
tips
homework.
with the Z. Oh, okay. Family, don't go anywhere. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media, the voice
of
the
the
community. We'll be right back.
Broadcast.
Yes, maybe. We're good.
Phenomenal.
We need to put her in some more. We're leaving her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to ask me some questions about tennis. Yeah, you need to ask me about tennis. And you know how you can come back and ask me about your hair.